All right, man. Peace. It's Bronzebird here with another video. So I'm going to be doing a couple of videos that's going to be a little bit old in topic, but I found this article to be pretty much amazing that gives more into what America or the world is experiencing at this point, which a lot of layoffs is taking place, which you would have thought had started at, small scale companies, white collar companies, blue collar companies. Amazon has been known for doing a lot of layoffs, Google and YouTube and a couple of other places where they're trying this new strategy, which gives into the fear of how AI is going to do most of the work in the future and that everything is going to be computerized and there's not going to be a need for a lot of people to work at companies anymore because AI is going to be doing most of the work. Now, I found this a little bit amazing because we're now talking about the music industry being affected by the layoffs that's happening globally and especially here in the United States, in which they decided to lay off a lot of people from Atlantic Records, for example, which is the place that I'm going to be talking about today. In which, in my opinion, there goes a lot more than just saying AI. I'm not thinking that AI is a necessary component to why a lot of employees at Atlantic Records is dropping like flies by being laid off, but it's more so with the creative development that's happening with the artists that they can't manage anymore. Of course, cost comes into it. Cost in maintaining an artist is high, doing records, promotions, doing this, that, and the third. And there a lot of these small hats that's invested a lot of times in these companies is not recuperating the money that they used to get when they used to sign these artists, and especially because they like to sign a lot of young artists. They understand that these artists are young, naive, but just very hungry to get their talent out there. And especially the blueprint with a lot of these record companies, or should I say, the way to becoming an artist is these days is pretty much independent. Just being able to have a team that's behind you independently, being able to upload your song, and TikTok pretty much being the new radio station for a lot of these artists to be put on. Famously, one of the artists that's always mentioned is Ice Spice and about how she got her shine from TikTok. The Munch song becoming a hit on TikTok and therefore making her a star to what she's known these days. Even though, and I will say it, Bronzebird thinks, or Bronzebird knows, or Bronzebird has a suspicion that Ice Spice is an industry plant. But that's more news for a different day. Otherwise than that, let's check out this article because I find it really interesting how they're going to move with this whole entire thing of trying to take a new approach to signing artists, maintaining artists, getting these acts together and stuff like that when a lot of these artists are figuring out the game themselves, knowing the fact of the matter that they just have to be able to have a supportive team. There has to be people who's going to be dancing to their records, being able to make a TikTok off their records, and being able to manipulate the algorithm on a lot of social media sites, namely TikTok, because that's the most readily used app, usually, especially by Gen Z and maybe Generation Alpha, but I don't even think Generation Alpha is of age yet. Most of Generation Alpha would probably more than likely still be coming teenagers, but they're not teenagers yet. So let's check out this article, y'all. Pete. So shout outs to Ashley King. Says Warner Music heralds new era after deep layoff round at Atlantic Music Group. Here's the new leadership team. Atlantic Music Group, part of Warner Music Group, has announced its new leadership team and structure following a deep round of layoffs designed to maximize AMG's cultural impact and strengthen its creative expertise. These changes aim to empower dedicated A&R and marketing teams at Atlantic Records, 300 Entertainment, and 10K Projects. Beginning October 1st, Elliot Grange assumes the role of CEO of Atlantic Music Group as Julie Greenwald passes the torch after 2 decades. Atlantic Music Group is home to the most extraordinary artists and executives in the world. This great label has moved through a meaningful transition and emerged with a world-class team made up of ambitious innovators and veteran visionaries, said Grange. We have a plan to build on the extraordinary achievements of the last 20 years, honor the independent DNA of our labels, and collaborate with artists to pioneer a future filled with opportunity. To all our artists, managers, and partners, we are committed to a single principle: maximum impact for original artists. We're looking forward to doing big, bold, brave things together. Warner Music Group CEO Robert Kinkle added, AMG will be lean, agile, fiercely creative, and deeply passionate about artists and their fans. We're opening an exciting new chapter in the story of an iconic label. Elliot's thoughtfully chosen a team that combines a wealth of experience, a diversity of expertise, and a commitment to excellence. Atlantic Records, 300 Entertainment, and 10K Projects will all be helmed by forward-thinking leaders, and with 10K operating within AMG as a standalone venture controlled by WMG. The Electra, fueled by Ramen, and Roadrunner imprints will continue under the AMG banner. So before we dig into it, they're going to be explaining some of the people that's known for being in Atlantic Records, 300 Entertainment, and 10K Projects, and more on that story. But to go dive deep into this topic, record companies feeling the burn on trying to transition themselves, on reconfiguring themselves on how to market and move the quote unquote culture, which is nothing more but engineered culture on what's the new brightest music, the new brightest stars, how they put themselves in the realm of being more digitally proficient on trying to gather artists together and read how their algorithm is, read how many followers they have on TikTok, Instagram, even if, because a lot of people will say Instagram is dying, but how are they going to put everything together in this generation to ensure that their culture can still move, their company can still move, really, with a lot of the artists that's there? Plain and simple, in my opinion, in my theory, which wind up being true, which is going to be a future topic that I'm going to talk about, that music is becoming more singular. And therefore, a lot of the dope genres that we have before becomes watered down, becomes the same repetitious songs. And usually it's the same beats, the same cadence, and everything starts to become the same. There is no uniqueness to that art form. There is just new artists, but new artists that starts to sound the same like the other artists. That's the problem. And therefore, trying to reconfigure that and trying to figure out what artist is different from the other artists may be something they might have on their table at those meetings. But therefore, the layoffs, what is going to be the solution from that? If they're not deciding to get these artists off the chopping block from TikTok and all these other places, would it be that they are starting to create more of these AI projects, starting to allow these AI rappers and AI singers to take place more than they need to have an actual artist to do these shows? Because obviously, if you go to different countries, namely Japan, and maybe China, I'm not really sure, and definitely Korea with K-pop, they're already starting up the whole entire trend of having digital artists more so than physical artists. Will that be a battle in the future? Think about that. Atlantic Records. Lauren Ray Gaba is promoted to president of hip hop, R&B, and global music. Lou Mota is EVP, head of A&R, hip hop, R&B, and global music, while Marsha St. Hubert is EVP, head of marketing, hip hop, R&B, and global music. They have supported and helped develop acclaimed artists like Cardi B, Jack Harlow, Lil Uzi Vert, Burna Boy, and many others. Kevin Weaver is president, West Coast. The longtime Atlantic leader was most recently behind the record-breaking Barbie, the album, as well as the Twisters soundtrack. In addition, Brandon Davis and Jeff Levin are EVPs and co-heads of A&R Pop and Rock. Marisa Aron is promoted to EVP, head of marketing, Pop and Rock. The trio has managed a roster that includes Lizzo, Charlie XCX, Charlie Puth, Ava Max, Melanie Martinez, and many others. 300 Entertainment, Raina Bass and Salim Boab are co-presidents. Under their guidance, 300 has supported marquee names like Young Thug, Mary J. Blige, and Gunna, among others. 10K Projects, Nicholas Zangas, and Molly McLachlan are promoted to co-presidents, have been instrumental with breakout stars like Artemis, Trippie Redd, and Rich Amiri. Atlantic Music Group will combine the strength of key functions at Atlantic, 300, Elektra, to create one central set of artist development services. These functions at the group level include creative, legal and business affairs, promotion, press and media strategy, digital marketing, and analytics, sales and streaming, A&R research, A&R administration, and marketing operations. Atlantic Music Group Craig Cowman is elevated to Chief Music Officer, expanding his remit to bring his wealth of expertise to artists and projects across the group, while enabling him to mentor the next generation of executives. Zach Friedman and Tony Talamo are promoted of Chief Operating Officer and General Manager, respectively. Friedman and Talamo joined 10K Projects in 2018, and their company Homemade Projects was acquired in 2022. Erica Bellarosa is promoted to General Counsel, heading legal and business affairs efforts across the entire group. Dave Rocco is appointed President of Creative with responsibilities spanning creative, strategy, video, artwork, advertising, and more. He most recently served as Chief Creative Officer at Republic Records and held the title of Global Head of Artist Marketing and Label Relations at Spotify. Greg Nadel has been appointed to a new role within WMG's Recorded Music Division, which will be announced soon. More appointments regarding department heads will be made over the coming weeks. Now, I know a lot of you people don't know the name of a lot of these people. You don't know them for who they are. You just know the artists. These are probably the bigwigs that's behind the company. But the point of me doing this video is just to analyze how funny it is when it comes to the music industry about how they have to change tunes when it comes to this upcoming generations of artists that they're trying to promote, because nothing is the same anymore. A lot of artists, like I said in the very beginning, rely on social media as being their platform to promote themselves. And usually they can do it very much independently, so they don't need record labels to sign them. Therefore, the record labels have to try a different strategy on trying to put these people together, and whether they're going to use different things like inflating streams, inflating record plays and stuff like that. I think in the past, someone had said payola and all these different things out there to promote these artists when they are actually doing low numbers or when it comes to their sales of records. It's just funny. But otherwise than that, this is just a prelude video to a topic that I'm going to be talking about with the music industry. Therefore, talking about how the plan is for music to become singular. Therefore, the world music will probably lean itself into being about, more or less, in my opinion, this is just a thesis, that music is going to be more catered to reggaeton or Spanish music. It's going to be led into more of the Afro punk or Afro beats type of genre. And then when it comes to rap and hip hop, it's going to be cultivated from ways of club music, as you can already hear. And especially if you listen to drill, more or less you listen to New York drill, it's nothing more but club beats and dudes rap by death metal style. Otherwise than that, if you agree or disagree, make sure you comment in the comment section. Make sure you like and share this video and you subscribe to this channel. Peace.